Real quickly, I have to Instagram this real quick. I'll do the hashtag later. So real quickly, just a little story about me. Corey said everything. So I'll go to the slides. This was my transformation. In October 2011, I was 170 pounds. I was very, I was unhappy with where I was going. I was a 2-pack smoker a day person. I was a nightclub promoter. I was very unhealthy. I had a lot of problems with my body, obviously, my hair. So I have this thing called irritable bowel syndrome. Anybody know what that is? Yes. Yay! You guys know. So it's basically, you're either constipated or you have diarrhea. Well, every time I would eat, I wouldn't know what would come out. So I'd be scared, and I really panic. I'd go to the bathroom, and I just start, going, I don't know what's going to come out. And so, I mean, with that, it's very. I was going to say the S word. But anyways, I'm sorry. I'm really nervous right now, so give me a break. My brother did all my slides for me. That's how I'm prepared now. And also, I'm following Daniel Song, who's an awesome speaker. Yeah. So I have this thing called irritable bowel syndrome. I also am allergic to MSG. So every single time I would go out and eat Korean food or any Asian foods or anything like that, I get a really bad reaction. And the reaction would be I would have migraines for 3 days. And it's not the kind of migraines that you would just have to close out the lights and sleep it off. I couldn't sleep. I would end up actually throwing up because the headaches would be so bad. So with my transformation, when I first started the Yogi Better Body System, I found out that my brother got on board and he was doing like a 14-day trial. Well, I said, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm taking a shake." And I was like, "Oh, what is that?" And he goes, "Oh, well, you only came on with this shake." And I was like, "Oh, well, can I have some?" And he goes, "No, I can't share it. We only have like 14 days." Can I have a sip? I just want to try what it's like. And he's like, no. He was cool, but I lost like 14 pounds already. And I was like, what? And I was like, okay. So I went into his room and I stole some. I stole some. Hey, sister, brother. Hey. So anyways, with that, I tried it and I was like, oh, the burger tastes good. I was like, I want some. So I was super anxious, and I told my brother, you know what, Gene, I'm kind of going through some things in my life, and and for us, because we're Korean, we're so proud. we're Asian, and we don't speak of any like emotion. I don't. My mom and dad, we don't hardly ever say I love you. We just kind of do things, and that shows us that we love them. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of relationship that we kind of have. And from that, like my brother and I basically had to really tell him, like, I'm going through some things. I really need help. And so I went up to him and I said, I need help, Gene. I'm going through some emotional things. My friends the friends that I was hanging around with wasn't really my friends because of the whole nightclub promotion kind of a thing. When you're in nightclub scenes, a lot of your friends aren't really your friends. They're your friends to say, hey, can I get on the guest list? You know what I mean? So you think they're your friends. So I kind of went through this slump, and then finally I said, Gene, help me. And he said, you know where to go. And I was like, okay. And then I just kind of was like, all right, fine, you know, I need help me. And he said, well, they're coming out with a Better Body System in October, so why don't you just jump on board? And I said, okay. So when October came, I jumped on board real quick. Saved my money, and I said, okay, I'm getting the Better Body System. Yes, live, skinny, sexy. So I did. October, I lost 5 pounds in 3 days, and after the whole 30-day system, I lost 12 pounds with no exercise, because I was stubborn. I said, I'm not going to do no workouts. I hate workouts. And I did. With that as well, I actually, you know, I regulated my body where I didn't have to use the bathroom as much, and I didn't have any, you know, stuck. It was all good. Well, the cool thing is that I actually quit smoking cold turkey. You know, most people when they quit smoking, you know, a lot of times we gain the weight, you know, because we have to try to replace it by eating something. And with Better Body System, I actually ended up losing weight, so that was cool. But towards the end of my whole transformation, I was so satisfied, and that's what actually built my belief, and what really made me just get into the whole system. In February, I jumped back on. So from October to February, I actually didn't do anything. I jumped back on in February, and I took the picture, and I looked at myself, and I was like, oh. I was like, hey, Gene, I don't have my belly. And he goes, and I said, Gene, can you tell? And he goes, a little bit. And I was like, oh. I gotta be anorexic there, yeah, to make him notice. But anyways, from February, I jumped back on, and I started actually implementing the workouts, and I started going to the gym like at least like 4 times a week. And that gave me that motivation. And from there, in April, as you can see, it actually told me out. So that was cool. So in this process right here, you lose the weight, but you get told afterwards. So that's where I was like, woohoo! I believe! So that was me. This right here is my wife. This is the last time both my parents came out to the farmer's market actually. And my mom, she couldn't even walk. Hi, Mom. This was the last time my mom came out to the farmer's market, and she couldn't walk, and she couldn't walk from here to that wall right there. She had a really hard time. Reason being is because my mom has diabetes, and her sugar level was about 400, and she was on insulin. I know, I need 5 minutes. My mom is a huge why for me. Actually, both my parents, my dad and my mom.